Hey everybody, it's episode 4. Don't know why I pointed at you. We've got some things to talk about. I've had a chance to edit a couple of episodes. Let's talk about Mrs. Gross. She, after the first episode or two, I was like, meh, her, whatever. But she is one of the most interesting characters in the show. One, as I pointed out in episode 3, she doesn't eat or drink anything. She's always refusing. She's always, interestingly, they usually have her holding something and pretending to sip it, but not actually sipping it. And then Owen's like, hey, do you want this? Do you want that? And she's like, no. She's not touching her food. She's not consuming anything. She makes it look like she is, but she's not. Hugely obvious thing that pretty much everybody should have noticed the first few episodes. Something else that she does is she does this. Actually, from your perspective, it looks like this. She touches her. Occasionally, she'll I haven't been sleeping much. She'll start touching something at the back of her neck or her shoulder or her head. Something there is a thing. She does it deliberately. It's not as obvious as the food and drink thing, but it's a recurring thing. You could say her touching her cross is recurring, but forget about that. 3, she's seeing cracks. 4, Miles had a dream about hurting her. 5, she was being weirdly spooky the first time we ever saw her. She's looking into the well. So, what can we put all those things together somehow? Probably not. So let's say something stupid. Because I don't know. Please don't spoil it. Because anybody who's seen the whole thing, maybe nothing's wrong with her. Or maybe there is something, but I'm going to get it wrong. Great. Okay? Let me get it wrong. Don't correct me. Don't spoil anything, please. So, my current theory is that Peter, the creepy guy from episode 3, who's kind of trying to, inhabit Miles' body, get him to do weird things. Peter's the one that actually hurt Hannah. He actually killed her. He actually pushed her down the well or something. And she broke her neck or cracked something. Maybe there was a crack in the well. There's something about a crack. Something about her neck. And therefore she's not just a ghost. She's wandering around. She's doing things. She's touching people. She's a very advanced ghost. During the day, she's just acting like a normal person. That's my theory. It doesn't fit in with anything we know about hauntings or ghosts or anything like that. But she's just acting way too weird. And for it to be nothing, but maybe we can explain it away with other things. That's fine. But all those pieces together, I was like, what is the weirdest thing that we could do with those pieces? That. It's interesting that Miles is imitating Peter. Looking for keys. I think he was even whistling the same tune that Peter was whistling somewhere in the first three. I've watched the first 3 episodes together, so somewhere in the first 3 episodes, Peter's whistling a tune. I think it's the music box tune, and I think Miles was whistling the same tune. So that's the hint that they're connected in a spiritual way. Or maybe Miles is just like Flora was imitating Rebecca. Maybe Miles is just trying to emulate a hero figure like Peter. Don't forget the Bernie lighter. Maybe one of Hannah's candles is herself. So that's all that stuff. Danny and Jamie had a subtle touching moment. That might not go anywhere, but I'm glad that I wasn't imagining it from episode 1. And, oh yeah, I think I half mentioned, I wonder if Danny and the woman narrating, You know, could they be the same person just grown up? One is American and one is English. What are you doing? It's more likely to be Jamie or someone else, you know? That was stupid. Example of stupid thing. Nobody called me out on that. Thank you. Let me be as stupid as I want to be. I want to be stupid and spooked. And I want to be free to say all my opinions and not hold them back just in case I get spoiled. So far so good. Anyway, let's get into episode 4. Last time we had a lot of flashback. And where did we leave it? Can't quite remember. It'd probably come to me the first... Like, I know Owen's mother... Owen's mother died. But, what else happened? I don't know if we were left on a cliffhanger or not. Actually, you know what? You know what we're going to do? I'm going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to see it. Just go to the end of the last episode. Oh, she saw... Speaking of theories, the theory about the guy in the mirror with the eyes, and also the same as the guy in the bed with the bloody hand. I don't know. At the end, that guy with the eyes kind of got whooshed away. Another way of seeing that scene would be if he was falling, because naturally he wouldn't be, unless it was a hurricane, he wouldn't be blown back from her. But if he was falling, that movement could be possible. So maybe she was in a car crash with this guy, and he falls to his death. And there's something with the... I don't know. We'll learn about that in due time. My theory isn't solid enough on that. I have no idea what's going on. The cracks in the glasses? I don't know. Also, I noticed a few spooky monsters in the first episode when I was editing, but then I forgot to actually look for them in episodes 2, and I haven't edited episode 3 yet, but... So I'm 100% sure there's stuff in the background happening. I love this show for that. And the little details with Mrs. Gross. And they build in little hints, and I love it. So. Oh, and Miles in episode 2 was just doing all that stuff. The falling and the attacking the kid and the bird just to get expelled, just to be sent home. That was his only motivation. He wasn't evil Damien Omen child. He got a message from Flora saying come home. He tried to find the key to get himself sent home. Good intentions. Didn't harm anybody except for the bird. So, at least that's what I think. So, forget about him being all that stuff in school. Good intentions. Like maybe he couldn't have just said, hey, can I go home? No, learn your Bible. You know what I mean? Also, I mentioned, I think in episode 3, that I thought that Rebecca was the same as the lady in the water. But I don't think that's the case anymore. Because they have different dresses on the doll. I thought all the colours would be mixed together. From light would make white. That makes it her. But they're mixing all the colours as in paint, which would make black, which is not her. Unless they change the colour of the dress on that doll, they're different people, different threats, different ghosts. Got it? Episode 4. I love this show. Why do I love this show? I don't know. It's just great. Great for me to react to. Not particularly spooky. not particularly groundbreakingly great, but there's something about it that just works as a whole. It keeps me interested, it keeps me watching. Even the boring scenes, I'm like, ooh, ooh. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm expecting to be spooked out of my... expecting to pee my pants. Nobody wants to see that. What's with the... why did they do that? That hasn't been... could be just stylistic choice rather than a story-based choice.
Mom says they make me look extinguished.
Is it just her friend from childhood? That's obviously Danny. As a kid.
You can stay for dinner again. No, really.
Please stay.
You can stay. My mom says you can stay anytime.
Ooh, he has the hots for her. Are they together?
You like it?
They're getting married?
It was a
Edmund.
dare. She dared me.
Let's see how he dies.
My
And
mom's
why
gonna kill me.
the lights in his eyes make
Danielle's
sense.
She says we're too young, and so I said, "When is old enough?" Well, over the years, I kept asking, and
I just kept pestering her, and eventually she said, let's just get it over with.
Danielle, thank you for daring me to do it.
It's very clear that he loves her. Don't know what she thinks. Steve Winwood.
Look, come with me for a minute. I've got a surprise for you. I always hoped I'd have a daughter I could give this to.
Jeez.
So proud of my sons, but I don't think this would suit any of them.
Well, you never know.
Maybe Carson.
Carson?
And, of course.
Ooh,
And,
mirrors. Before she was afraid of mirrors. What is it, a wedding dress?
I don't know what to say.
I'm breaking up with your son. How you feeling, Danny? Overwhelmed?
You decent?
Come in.
Physically decent. Emotionally? Not so much. Towels over the mirror bed.
You.
Oh, we're going to a funeral? We're going to Owen's mother's
You know,
funeral?
starts at 4.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to go if you don't want to.
Don't you want to break from all this death and misery and go to the funeral?
I promise. I don't need you to be my date to Owen's mum's funeral.
She said date.
Hey, can you help me get this thing off?
Yeah, there we go. Do we have time for this? Before the funeral?
Thank you.
I'm not scared of him now because we know that, you know.
Okay.
I wonder if she's just grieving or if she feels guilty about what happened. You know, if there was some sort of accident and she was culpable. And now he's haunting her just in her mind, not actually. Oh, more singing. Remember in the first episode? Danny was like, oh, what song is that? And Flora's like, what song? That was weird. It's the twirly song. When I was talking with the whistling. It's also the one the ghost was harmonizing with.
Will Owen's mum be there at the funeral?
In spirit.
Mum and Dad weren't at theirs.
In a way, they'll always be here.
But in an actual way, they're not.
Here. Looked and looked.
She'd know.
But
There's only like 7 or 8 people here.
Come along. Let's get some supper started for you children, shall we?
None for me, of course.
I can chop things up.
What is she going to see in the drawing? Viola Lloyd.
Right. It's Owen's favourites.
But Owen isn't here.
Is he coming back? I feel bad for Owen because I'm always making fun of him. She can't be with Jamie because she'd feel weird about Edmund. Like she's cheating on him or something. Don't look in the reflection of the water. Oh shit. Gosh. Oh, it's, hey Peter. What you doing? Hey.
It's actually quite impressive. No damage done. I got in the car and I didn't know I was.
I like that he came
in
here. He wants to be with his friends.
I should go, shouldn't I?
No.
I should go back. 'Cause
Supper's,
We've made stuff for you.
I bet you haven't eaten.
She's one to speak.
How did you know Owen was coming?
How did she know? Maybe she saw the cracks in the future. She saw Owen was coming.
God, Danny, look at you.
Should wear your hair up on the day. Show 'em off.
Karen, please.
Ooh, what's she touching her for? Maybe she's a lesbian. Thought maybe like bisexual, but maybe she just had no feelings for Edmund at all. Hey, Mrs. Gross, did you make anything for yourself?
Just take your dinner.
She's breaking bread. She's not eating it.
You're not dying, you know.
What?
When Mum and Dad died, I thought I was going to die too. But then I thought, what if I was already dead, but nobody else knew, and I was walking around dead, but everybody could see and hear me? Dead doesn't mean gone.
Not in this house.
I think I ought to be allowed a glass of wine.
Ooh, she's doing it. She's doing it, people. Look at this.
Peter let me have wine sometimes.
Will we ever hear the end of Peter Quick?
No. Peter's still here.
I want an actual bloody drink!
Yeah.
No!
You never let me do anything, Danny. So yeah, guaranteed Mrs. Gross, dead. Walking around, everybody can see her, just like Flora was talking about. She was doing the thing with the back of her head. This episode's delivering so far. Don't disturb the dolls, Danny. I wonder if Flora knows. Like, of course Mrs. Gross is dead. You didn't know that? Kind of want to pause it. There's Hat Man. Where's the one with the... Oh, there's Rebecca, I think. There's Peter Quinn.
Miss Clayton,
Yeah?
please don't move things around my dollhouse.
Don't move them.
You've got Peter.
Yeah, can we put him somewhere else, maybe? With the
Flora.
scary one?
Have Miles or you seen Peter Quint? Let him into the house?
We don't let him in the house. It's not how it works.
He just comes and goes as he pleases. What
What are you looking at?
What you looking at?
I don't know what you mean.
Freaks me out. I wonder if we'll get flashbacks to all the things that Flora's been seeing.
Are we?
You want to act like the grown-ups? I understand.
Can you get me some booze?
I was the same way.
You look somebody too.
This episode we'll
I
see
did.
what happened. 100%. Bonfire? Halloween?
Dig in. Some of this wine hasn't seen daylight since before you were born.
Oh, let me just get Miles. He wants some.
Hannah.
Hannah, you.
I'm so sorry. I've been drifting lately, quite a bit, I'm afraid.
Yep. Ever since the incident near the well. Maybe she'll tell Jamie about what happened.
And I just wanted to give us a night where we don't have to talk about any of it.
I wonder if he dies before the wedding. Like, tonight?
Eddie, I was thinking we could just tone it all down.
God, for a second, I thought you were going to say you didn't want to get married at all.
He's figured it out. He doesn't know about her sexuality or anything, but...
I can't.
This makes no sense.
I didn't want to hurt you.
Maybe it's the lights of an oncoming car reflected through his glasses?
Why are you doing this to me?
She can't explain it. Oh, don't get out, he's gonna get run over.
Jesus, have you not? You've done enough!
And this is why she blames herself.
I'm sorry.
Here we go,
Eddie! Eddie!
The glasses are broken. Oh, she's drinking it! She's faking it.
Anyone got any old bones to throw?
Danny, do you want to get rid of your guilt?
Right, I'll start.
Oh, she's just gonna walk in. I was never here. I'm a ghost. She just walked into the fire.
Rebecca Jessel.
She was the best.
Oh my God.
Much better than you, Danny.
She's still worth 10 of that man, I won't say his name.
Oh, Peter.
She was brilliant. She was beautiful.
But here's Danny Clayton. And if anyone can bring Miles and Flora back to themselves,
It's Danny.
she can. I'm glad she's here.
Yeah, Hannah, stop talking about Rebecca. You bitch.
What about you, Poppins?
I've got nothing. She not ready yet?
She was gone long before she died, and I miss her. And all I could do was just let her hang on to me until it was time to let go. And soon I'll let her go too.
Such a contrast between his comedic, almost annoying, normal self and this really great acting, this heartbreak. I like that. Oh, she's gonna see him for the first time in the mirror. And it's really because she doesn't want to look at herself. Because she blames herself. So her entire backstory is all tied up now. We know why she left. We know what she's running from. Oh.
You made him so happy.
She doesn't want to hear any of this. It's gonna make it worse.
Really proud of him.
Oh, she's gonna freak out. Yeah. It doesn't. You can do when you're at something like that. People, you can do whatever you want. It's not. Nobody will think anything less of you, or they won't think it's weird. Everybody grieves in their own way. Until she lets go of Ed, her and Jamie will never be a thing. Is she gonna tell her?
We were engaged, and he died. And sometimes I see him.
Is he here now?
No.
Seriously, Poppins. How are you still standing?
Oh, they're gonna kiss.
Find you.
You could see it in the way they were filming the shot. I'm happy. Oh, I'm not happy. It'll take a while.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
Hey, you want your dress back?
People say you're not taking care of yourself.
You're not eating, you're not drinking.
I brought something else too. It's
Ooh.
I can't stand to look at them. I couldn't bear to throw them away, so I thought, thank you.
There's her getaway.
Okay, I actually have some stuff I need to get done.
Please come by for dinner any night.
Sure,
I will.
sure.
Okay.
I'll give you a call from a different country. See you.
Bye-bye.
In Paris. You and me while we still can.
I can't travel.
Sorry to interrupt.
I can't leave the grounds.
Oh, no.
What are we gonna do with the glasses? Okay. Peter's making sure Miles is okay. Yeah.
Miss Clayton?
Danny's missing from her room. Anybody else around her? She's in the house. Hey kids.
Miss Clayton?
Don't go in that room.
What the heck are you doing down here?
We're making sure you're safe.
And it said it wanted to do awful things. And it had bones for hands.
Don't look around.
Could I have a glass of milk?
Yeah, go to the kitchen. The kitchen. Yeah, this way, this way. This is fine. There's only the Hat Man this way. Is she gone? Did she go out? Did she leave footprints? Yeah, look at the footprints. So it's her that does it. Comes in, goes out, goes to the forbidden wing. Is she gonna throw the glasses? Closure? Done. Is it gonna be standing there? Yeah. She's gonna sit there until he goes? Good, good. I like that episode because it did a great job. It gave us the flashback. It answered every question. Danny and Jamie 100% confirmed. They threw us a few more crumbs towards Hannah and her issues. Owen had his best episode, his best performance. Maybe it works better because he was a lighter character, purely comedic, never had any weird issues. So to see him in that contrast was particularly effective. The kids kind of took a background role this episode, but they were still looking, they're still seeing things that she's not seeing. And particularly that woman at the end, they can both see her. Confirmed. They're both trying to protect Danny. Confirmed, at least when Miles isn't possessed by the ghost of Peter. Or maybe that's him just, it could be just Miles acting out, It could be. I still love the dollhouse. I still love that the dolls represent where everybody is in the house currently. And we know that they move on their own because Flora can see where the lady is. And Flora didn't put the lady there. We could say she arranges them all, or last sighting of Peter is here, last sighting of that guy, the hat, I love that all these people exist in the house, but they haven't been major players. We just see them in the dollhouse, and we know, as the audience, all these people are in the house. If you look for them in these episodes, you'll probably spot them in the background. But they haven't made a big deal of them. Eventually, they probably will. But I love that it's just subtle at the moment. Yeah, the flashbacks were... It was sweet. And they were engaged. She couldn't go through with it. Maybe she loved him, but she didn't love him in that way. Maybe she didn't love him in that way because she's only interested in females, or it could be, just... maybe she just sees him as a friend, and she also does like guys. It could be any of those things. But she definitely blames herself because he died right after she broke up with him. Like, literally after they had an argument, he got out. She was there. She saw it happen. If they hadn't done that right then, he'd still be alive. So it's all on her. And she relives his death. But this is her moving on. Putting the glasses down, sitting with him. She's dealing with it. She's dealt with it. I'm not saying he's never going to reappear. It's never going to be an issue in future, but they've definitely dealt with it. And I like that. I like that we don't have to wait the full 9 episodes for that to happen. It was a good time to do it. I still don't know where the story is going to go. That intrigues me. So I'm looking forward to the next episode, because I feel like there's still more to learn about the lake, about what happened with Rebecca, what the deal is with Hannah. Owen isn't such a big mystery, not yet. We still have to learn about the phone calls. Jamie, I don't know if she seems very well adjusted to have an interesting backstory that could add wrinkles. Like, I know she was talking about she cries 4 or 5 times a day and she knows what loss is, but it hasn't been such a big factor that we would need to learn about it. Well, maybe she could have an episode. What happened with Peter? Is Peter still alive? If he's still alive, why does it seem like he's just a ghost? Why does it seem like he's inhabiting Miles? We can only assume that Rebecca's 100% dead, although we haven't seen it in a flashback yet. What happened there? Who killed her? What happened with Hannah? Is she still alive? Is she just walking around like a regular person? I love that conversation over the breakfast table. And I love that she's sipping. She's always sipping, but she's never... Is she imbibing? Maybe she... I don't know. I have more fun watching Hannah in these more recent episodes than I did at the start, when I was just, who's this person? I didn't even know she was in the first episode. But now it's like, oh, she's doing the thing. She's doing the thing. I wish everybody had something that maybe they do, and I just haven't spotted it. Like, one person touches their shoulder all the time. And then we get a flashback to a ghost constantly, like, hanging on to them. Yeah, good episode. Dealt with stuff. And now we can move on to spooky times, I feel like. Can learn more about the ghosts in the house. Also confirmed that Flora sees all the ghosts. She knows. She knows that her parents aren't there. She has looked. She has searched for them in the house. And she knows that she would know because she's seen all the other dead people. We also know from episode 2 that Miles sees the ghosts as well, because he's like, why do the bad people come back but not the good people? Good. Okay. Thanks for joining me. Join me tomorrow for episode 5. And yeah, we'll get our spook on. See ya.